Steve, afternoon. First of all, the magnitude of this first game against Israel next Thursday, it's going to be fantastic. But how do you park that? How do you put that behind you?
I think you have to respect the magnitude of the game. I've spoken to the players before about it in the previous camps about a chance to make a little bit of history for their country. The players are aware of the size of the game, what it means to the country, and we're all determined to put on a good show and make sure that we're still involved come November.
When you look at your squad, it's obviously a slightly larger squad, but you've got Ryan Fraser back, Ollie McBurney back. How, in terms of those options that add to what you had last month, how pleased are you to have them?
Yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, a little bit disappointed to lose James Forrest, who's done well for us. We wish him well and hope he gets himself back playing again as soon as possible. For the boys coming in, yeah, the squad's bigger, but we've got 3 games in a very short space of time, so it's important that we have options within the squad, and the players that you've mentioned will give us those different options.
James Forrest is out, so I mean, have you spoken to James? He's obviously been very important for you since you took over.
No, I haven't had the chance to speak to him yet. I found the news out late last night, and then I've been travelling up today, so not really had the chance to speak to him. But listen, he's a professional footballer. He knows that injuries are part and parcel of the game. The most important thing is he gets himself fit and hopefully ready for next month.
13 of your squad are going to play this Sunday. How big a concern is that? You can't control that, but it only gives you essentially maybe a day and a half to work with them before the Israel game.
Yeah, but we've had good work in the previous camps, so I think now I feel a little bit more comfortable that the principles, the way we want to play, obviously touched on a different formation last month, which gives us other options, means we can utilise the squad fully. So would be in an ideal scenario you wouldn't have all those people playing. But listen, it's the way it is. We knew the SPFL were going to be good to us and try and schedule all the matches on the Friday night. 4 of the games are on Friday, which is great. But you don't want Celtic and Rangers not to be involved in the European playoffs, so the Europa League playoffs, sorry. And they both are, and we wish them well in that, and we hope they get to the group stages as well. So the English boys were always going to be in that sort of scenario where they would be involved in Sunday games, and we'll just we've dealt with it before, and we'll deal with it again.
How much of a disadvantage do you feel it will be not to have the stadium full for the biggest game in maybe 13 years for this country?
I think if you look at the matches that have been played recently, the home advantage tends to have been eradicated a little bit, I think, by the fact that crowds are not there. So it's something that we're going to have to deal with. Hopefully we get through to the final and then it works in reverse. So it's just something that's there. I don't think there's too much point going on and on about the crowds. At the moment, there's no crowds getting into the game, so we just have to accept that and make sure that no matter who's in the stadium, the supporters will be watching it somewhere, hopefully safely and socially distanced, and we can give them something to smile about at the end of the night.
Do you think that we're at a point, though, and we flip it with the no fans, the players are maybe a little bit more used to the fact that they are playing all these games with no fans?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously it was my first experience last month of being involved in games with no supporters there. It was different. Certainly you miss, I'm a great believer, as everybody is, that football needs supporters. It's a game for the fans. Without the fans there, you lose that little bit of edge. But the players now, like you say, are used to it, so we'll just get on with it and we'll all do the best we can.
It must be a disappointment, although it has to be like this. It is such a big game, and for Scotland it is going to be behind closed doors.
No, but the situation that we're all in, I don't think we can take that lightly. So we have to follow the rules, follow the protocols, and make sure that everyone's safe. For the original tie in March, we'd sold 50,000 tickets, so there was going to be a big interest from the Scottish fan base. We knew they would be there to help us, but listen, they won't be there in body, but they'll be there in spirit.
See, with that last game against Israel, what, if anything, did you learn? And is there anything that you, in that game, tried out, or how much was it not giving too much away? And what can you take from that game?
No, obviously we can analyse the performance. I say there were some good things and there were some bad things in the performance. We can work on the bad things and hopefully improve on the good things. We had a look at Israel. I thought they played very well in the game, if I'm being honest. I thought they played well. I think we'll improve into the next game, and we'll see if they improve as well.
In terms of another couple of additions to the squad, I mean, Lawrence Shankland especially, who came in, after injury and scored 2 great goals for Dundee United. That must be extra pleasing to have that extra firepower added to the likes of Lyndon Dykes, who also performed very well last one. Yeah,
it's good to have Lawrence back available. He came into the squad at the end of last year. He did very well for us. Shows up well in training, showed up well in the matches. Got his first goal against San Marino, and I'm sure he's looking forward to adding to that tally. So it's good to have him back in the squad.
Ryan Porteous the chance to get a call up as well and maybe make his debut?
Yeah, Ryan was in the squad in November. I thought he trained well with us. He didn't get the chance to play. He comes into the squad this time on the back of a really good start for his club, and I look forward to working with Ryan again.
After the last Israel game, Steve, Lyndon Dykes came in and said that we should be beating teams like Israel. How pleased are you that that's the type of players get that type of confidence?
No, it was good. Listen, Lyndon came into the squad after a couple of conversations with myself. He chose to come down on the side of Scotland. We were grateful for that, and I think he showed in the 2 performances last month that he can be a good player for us in the future. So it's great he's got that attitude. He comes in with that little bit of bullishness, if you like, and it's good to see.
Is that a good tip for rubbing off on the other players?
No, I think the rest of the players are quite aware of what they should, or games that they should win and games that they should do well in. So I've got no worries about the mentality of this squad. The squad are in a good place mentally. They want to qualify. They're desperate to do well for their country, and I think that shows in the performances.
Steve, on that theme, can it maybe work for you, the fact that there's no fans here, and that should things not go well initially, there would have been kind of a great atmosphere, but maybe a frenzied atmosphere as well? Could you flip that and that could work in your favour?
That's a very Scottish question. I don't think so. I think, listen, players feed off the crowd. I don't know. Hopefully we wouldn't be in a situation where we would give the crowd a chance to be negative. So, we're trying to keep the mood positive, the camp positive. 4 wins out our last 5 games. 5 games undefeated. We spoke about it after we lost heavily to Russia to make sure that we came into this on a good run of form. And I think if you look at those statistics, 4 wins and a draw for our last 5 games, we're in decent form and we're looking forward to the game.
And in terms of how you embrace this personally, I'm wondering, would this be one of the biggest games that you've ever been involved in, either as a player or certainly in your managerial career?
And I'm not going to play the game down. It's a big game, but I've been involved in a lot of big games throughout my career. This is another big one, and anybody that's involved in football will tell you that the best games to be involved in are the big ones. So, looking forward to it. I'm really excited. You probably can't tell by the way my demeanour, but no, really looking forward to the game. The game will be good, and like I say, hopefully a big result for the country.
I'm excited too, despite my apparently negative questions. They're not meant to be. You've got players there who can rise to the big occasion. You've got a Champions League winner, for example. You're hoping that all rises to the surface on week Thursday? We've got a lot of really good players in the squad, and everyone's ready to play their part.
Steve, magnitude aside in the first game, how do you view the 3 fixtures? It's a triple header, which is really unusual in international football.
Really unusual. I'm looking forward to it because obviously I love being involved in matches and working with players, so it's going to be great. It's going to be intense. And although the first game is the biggest game and there's no hiding away for that, the next 2 games are also very important in the context of the Nations League B section that we're in. We've obviously had a decent start to that, 4 points for our first 2 games. 2 games at home against Slovakia and the Czech Republic can give ourselves a really good platform to go into the November matches with a chance to win the section. So we have to take those games very, very seriously as well. It would be really good to go into November top of the section with a chance of winning it.
Looking forward as well, is it a benefit you'll have so long with the players because you're there until the Wednesday, 10 days? That's as long as you've ever had, with the squad.
No, I think normally you get 9-10 days anyway, but I take your point. It'll be good to be together, but there won't be that much training involved. There'll be a lot of recovery after matches, but 3 games in a short space of time is always good.
Do Do you have an update on Ryan Jack's fitness? Is he okay?
No, listen, I've named Ryan in the squad. Obviously, it will depend. Now, Rangers have a game on Thursday night. They have a game at the weekend, so it will depend on Ryan's involvement in that. Obviously, if he's not fit to play for Rangers in the next 2 games, then it would be more difficult for him to come with the Scottish national team. But I give the boy every chance, or the lad every chance, to be fit and available for us.
Steve, I get most squad updates when you hear you get asked a lot of questions about Andy Robertson, Kieran Tierney and whatnot. You tried a few things out in the last 2 games. What do you think you learned about how they could play together from the last 2 games that you can take forward to this triple header?
I thought both of them were very comfortable in the system we played the last time. And obviously Kieran's playing left side centre back at 3 for Arsenal at the moment. And Andy has played left wing back before. And if you look at the winning goal or the penalty that came about in the Czech Republic game was Andy breaking into the box. So he was involved heavily in the second goal, and Liam Palmer on the right-hand side was involved heavily in the first goal. So it shows that the system can work with the personnel that we've got, and it gives me good options going forward.
You've asked that question a lot. Do you feel as if you've found the formula now to the Robertson-Tierney question in that sense?
I don't think it's so much about Robertson-Tierney. Greg Taylor's playing really well for Celtic at the moment as well. So I've got 3 terrific left-backs in the squad. Young Aaron Hickey made his debut for Bologna the other day. There's another one into the mix as well. So maybe in the future we'll be asking me about 4 left-backs.
How did you think Hickey did? Did you watch it? Did you see it?
I didn't see the game, but by all accounts he's done really well. And hopefully he can continue that vein of form.
Steve, I think Israel have delayed naming their squad because they're waiting on the results of some of their players for COVID tests. But you will, I guess, know roughly what to expect. But did the game here last month change your thought about what you're going to face with them?
No, I don't think so. I think it just re-emphasised the fact that they're a decent team, although everybody, or a lot of people in this country seem to want to talk them down a little bit. I think they've got really good players, good attacking options. I think if you look at the last 3 games between the 2 countries, there's not a lot in it. It was a 1-goal win for Israel, was a 1-goal win for Scotland, and then a draw. So there's not a lot in the game. So it's going to be quite a tight, nervous affair.
Is there something, Steve, in your mind that you think will make the difference on the night? Like you say, because there's no crowd, it's different for both sets of players. What in your mind is going to make the difference?
It'll come down to what it always comes down to. Don't make mistakes, and hope that somebody can come up with something special for Scotland. It's as simple as that.